I'm 13 Disciple. This guy right here is Sir Maximus Pickles, and this is Coach's Corner. Welcome back, guys. So on this one, we are reviewing a replay from Sergeant Rob. He is playing in his Progetto 65 here on Pilsen. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I kind of struggle on Pilsen. It's one of those maps that I kind of play by ear. Every time I play it, I'm still figuring it out. But we still might be able to learn something here. So first off, you might notice a little circle running around. That is my, that's where I'm looking. So you guys can see what I'm looking at. That might be helpful for you to see what I'm looking for in the middle of, while we're watching the match here. So let's get into it. First, let's take a look, whoops, there we go, at this map. Okay, so you kind of have this heavy brawling area in here. You've got kind of like a tank destroyer spot here, tank destroyer spot here, sometimes tank destroyer spot there, and then you kind of have a mirror image on the other side. Like that, right? Generally, light tanks will play these ridges. They will sometimes play this line of bushes here. Usually they'll come up to this point and poke up this side, or this point and poke up that side. And then sometimes people will play these corners to shoot into the middle like that, and sometimes they'll look for crossers through here, but otherwise there's usually not a ton of opportunity in here. So, looking at the lineup, let's take a gander. Let me adjust this there. Okay, so opposite from you is a 430U, which is, that's going to be a tough tank to brawl against. You do have the advantage of a T10. You've got an assault tank destroyer, whereas they have a grill. However, you guys have an STRV, whereas they have a T30 and T95. So over in the heavy tank side, I would definitely expect probably maybe the ISM, T32, 60 TP, even the T30, T95 could be over there. I expect all four of these light tanks here to definitely be going into the area with the coal running around through there. And there's a couple places already can be. We can run through that later in the match, though. That's less important. The grill, I expect to be sniping. He could be in either place, either backing up the heavies or on the other side. So I guess let's talk about initial positioning. So let's exit that. We'll pop back into here. So if I'm you, there's a couple of places I might go. Early off, I might shoot in the middle just to see if I can get crossing damage this way. Otherwise, I'll come up here and play these bushes, looking for shots on light tanks down here. And then after that, after the light tanks kind of get whittled down or we kill most of the active spotters, I would then consider running down this way. Or if my team is already taking this area, then I might just come through the middle of the map on these ridges here. So either way, let's get started and see where you end up heading out. Guys, if you're interested in having your replay featured, there's going to be a link in the description. You head over to my Discord, pop on over to the Coach's Corner channel, and in there you can submit your replays. So what's interesting about this particular tank, the auto reloading mechanism for the Italians, is that it forces players to make a choice when they're shooting this particular gun. You can either choose burst damage, which is your 4-round magazine, or you can do single fire, which is higher DPM. Your 268 just got, that was some solid driving there. He got stuck on that pillar thinking it was destructible. So this is going to be a tough play for you, trying to brawl in this area when you have nice jump, bro. When you have such weak armor, is probably not going to go particularly well. That was decent, getting a crossing spot there. We see where the 60 TP is, so let's get my marker out here. So we see the 60 TP is probably going to play this edge here. It doesn't look like he's going in deep. You have your 430U, which is going to be on either side here. The ISM is probably going to play one of these two sides as well. So what the problem is that you just don't have the armor to be brawling this guy right here from this area behind you here. what I would recommend is getting behind that rubble and trying to make your tank as small as possible. But even then, it's going to be really hard to trade there. Some other things that are really important that we should note right now is this. This T95 and this T30 did not head to the heavy tank side. So that means that there might be a grill in the back here. And that's pretty much it for scary guns on this side. And that 60 TP isn't deep. So if your heavies and this assault tank destroyer figure this out, that these TDs are over here and the 60 TP is not really in place, they can overmatch these guys pretty quickly. But they have to act fast before those other tanks can get into play. So I see you recognizing that you're a little overexposed. You're coming back to kind of wait and see what's going on. Decent choice. You were spotted. You wanted to fall back. So artillery, if you think about that, you're reasonably safe. Artillery will sometimes sit here. They'll sit here. They'll sit here. I've seen them even sit back in this area here. Most of these places are going to have trouble hitting you. The guy that's sitting here might be able to splash you. That should be a straight line. Hold on. Let's try that again. Nope, that's the square button. Shift, I think. Yes, shift is the straight line. There we go. He might be able to splash you, but he's still not going to have direct fire on you. The other side of the map is pretty light because you came to this side, but you still have an STRV overwatching. You still have a medium. Wow, okay, your 268 is being hyper aggressive. That's actually really good for your team. If they follow him in there, that could be huge. Another thing I want to point out, this grill is way out of place. He came up here instead of camping back here, which means, I mean, he might get a shot at crossing of whoever crosses. The 268 got through for free, but he's going to have to, you know, run. He can't stay there or he'll get just obliterated by the crossing. Okay, so the Samu is there. That's kind of scary. That's got a high clip potential. That's okay, whatever. Driving on rocks is rough. I don't blame you on that one. You have to watch that grill to your right. Grill to your right. Grill to your right. Please don't take 700 damage. Okay, you didn't. I heard a big boom. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, your defender just took a massive shot to the face. So if we zoom in here, you have shots on this grill, but you're not taking them. Yes, your team is going to be able to kill him. I see the T10. I see these other tanks right here that are getting ready to push through. But you have opportunity here to do damage without taking any. And he doesn't have a lot of hit points left as it is. If you were to turn around and dump your clip into this guy, it's relatively safe. You take out a really big gun and you eliminate one of their top tier tanks. So that would have been an important play. So I guess probably what happened here is you weren't paying attention to the minimap. So my advice to you or anybody else that's playing, if you're reloading, look at the minimap. If you're relocating, look at the minimap. If you're not sure what to do, look at the minimap. Just look at the minimap. Press the plus button to make it as big as possible, right? Because you can hit plus and minus. Make it as big as possible. Always look at the minimap. Look at your minimap. Okay, anyways, let's get back to where you're headed. I see you got a T49 supporting you. He has the big 152, so he won't have the DPM, but he might be able to pen some bigger tanks. So I see your 60 TP is reacting. These guys got to come in here as quickly as possible. And actually, you pushing through will kind of draw your team in because they don't want to miss out on damage. So I could see that being a play. This isn't horrible, especially if the 60 TP is distracted. If you look to the right and can get some of these hit points out of the game, that's where I would be aiming. Looks like you're looking for the T32. So the T32 isn't a bad target in this instance, but it's not your best target. We'll put it that way. So you've dropped one clip into him. He didn't realize you were coming in. You got a good first shot advantage there. You could fall back and get better DPM and go for a track, or you can dump here. Probably the better choice is to get DPM or get one less shot off before he goes back into cover. Yep, so he's turning his turret. Not bad to track him there. You hide, you saw that he fired, you realize you have unreturnable damage options here. You took a hit from the Samua. Yes, okay, so the Samua has a lot of clip potential, it's better to run away and keep reloading than to try and sit there and finish that T-32 off. That's the right call. Keep falling back, allow yourself to reload, don't take more damage from the Samua. Yep, keep backing up. I see your team has cleared out the grill. They're finally coming through. This object is gonna get overwhelmed pretty quick, I think. We'll see what happens. Your other side of the map is actually doing quite well. They've eliminated a majority of their light tank targets. You've got a medium over here, that's your standard B pushing through. This is overall not looking too bad. The only thing that hasn't been lit is 1 light tank and 2 artillery. And we can assume the light tank is probably in this bushes over here. And, you know, right, the artillery is somewhere on the back line. This is good. Keep letting yourself reload. I wouldn't be poking on the Samua. So I see you put one into the upper plate. Now you're looking for the lower plate. That's better, but not great. You should be falling back. Yep. Your T-49 isn't paying attention. He misses a shot, which is good for you. Now he's going to be on reload. You should be trying to track him here. Oh! Okay, so that's not a bad idea. Target prioritization. I get it. That's probably what should have happened here. You probably got a little bit of tunnel vision. But as soon as you saw the 60 TP and he was almost dead, you should have immediately chosen this as your target because he's a much scarier tank. This Samua is on reload for the next 30 seconds. You have plenty of time to start shooting him. You should have gone for the kill on the 60 TP. It's okay though, he died anyways. That would have been a better target. I'd also like to point out, you went to the upper plate of the Samua. If you did not know, the Samua has kind of a unique armor layout in that it has armor, but not really on the turret. It does on the hull, but not on the turret. So what you should be doing is anytime you bounce around and you aren't really sure why you bounced around, after every match, open up the armor profile of the tank that you bounced that you didn't think you should have bounced on, and check its armor profile and see why you didn't penetrate. Sometimes it isn't totally obvious, but on this one, it kind of is. The upper plate was angled pretty well, and you aren't shooting premium, which is fine. So what you should have been looking for is turret shots, and you would have known that if you had known the target profile, which is another shot of damage. So don't sweat it. That's something you'll get with experience, but that's how I do it. Anytime I bounce around and I'm confused, I always look at the armor profile. I find out where the weaknesses are, so that way when I see that tank again, I'm ready for it. You should be trying to reload as much as you can here. Your team's going to clean up that Object 430U. So what I would be doing right now is reloading and heading to probably K1 or possibly K3, because that's where I expect their artillery to be, and they should be the next ones to die. It looks like your Foch is actually already headed that way. Oh, there's one artillery up, and you have that T-32 as a one-shot. It's probably okay to sacrifice DPM to take out the one-shot or the artillery. Yep, that was smart. You had... I know it's probably counterintuitive. You had an M4043 available, but you took out a tank instead of wasting damage on M4043. This is the difference between looking for a win and 3 marking. I mean, obviously you guys are up by a lot of tank, and it looks like a pretty easy win here. If you're 3 marking, you'd probably be looking at damaging the 4043 because he has more hit points. If you're looking for a win, you want to take a gun out of the game as quickly as possible, which would be the T-32. Solid, looking for it. You still got the kill in the M4043. The 53 is up. Looks like we're going to try for a snapshot. You probably had more time to aim there, but I get why you took the snapshot because he's going to die really quickly. So now it's a matter of heading towards the T95, the standard B and the Rue, to try and get as much damage as possible. So at this point in the match, you've done 2,000. You have 700 hit points. At this point, you have plenty of tanks left. It's highly likely you're going to win. It's okay to sacrifice every single hit point you have left to just try and get a little bit more damage to improve your statistics in this match on this tank just that little bit more. Yep, so we're going to reload as we relocate here. The standard B and the T95, I'm guessing, are probably in the 0 line bushes. So you're heading towards the middle of the map. That's smart, because no matter where these guys become spotted, from the middle of the map is where you're going to have the most opportunity for damage. You're fully loaded. Remember, you probably will die unless he low rolls. to a shot on the T95. There's a T95. You still don't know where the standard B is. There's a standard B. Go for the standard B kill. Perfect. Highly recommend that. You see the T49 just penned the T95, which means the T95 butt is to the back, so he's facing you. So from here, we should assume that the T95 is probably looking directly at us. So you want to come in not directly at him. You want to probably come in at an angle. I mean, it's not super likely. He might be looking at the Caravan. He might be trying to turn to the T49. What he's probably doing is trying to take the back of his tank and push it against the red line. So it's likely that he's going to be looking somewhere in this vicinity. My recommendation is to, instead of drive at him, drive off to the side of him. Still go directly towards him, but just not straight on, I guess. He's going forward, so maybe he's not. Okay, so he is looking this way. So what you should have done there is gone straight to the right or to the left. Doesn't matter. Any of those directions. This is probably where you die. He low rolls. You live. And you could have got another shot there. It's fine. You did what you could. So, I mean, overall, you guys won the match. I probably wouldn't have played that area for the reasons that I explained earlier. But overall, not too bad. Thanks for sending in the replay. And I guess we'll catch you on the next Coach's Corner. If you guys like this replay, if you like the Coach's Corner, please consider subscribing. Please consider liking the video, commenting. Tell me if you like the the eye tracker. If it's too distracting, I can remove it in future videos. I figured I'd turn it on for one and see how it goes. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next one.